Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I wanted to wake you guys up, man. What's up? Grassroots Podcast. We are here. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button, be notified for our latest to the greatest episodes, as well as be sure to join and engage in our Discord where we talk about everything's culture, gaming, and hip-hop. Again, I'm one of the hosts, Brandon Killabh Hall.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
I am Wylson.
Hey. And Nas is out, and Chris is out, and everyone is out. So we're here thugging it. There's a lot happening. Yeah, straight thugs. There's a lot happening over the past weekend that we can talk about. There's a few leaks. There's some bidding wars between Epic Gaming and Apple and mobile console players. So that's a whole another monster that we'll get into. Joe Biden selected his running mate, Kamala Harris. So we'll get into that. Mm-hmm. And then what was the last thing we had to get into today? There's so much.
Oh, man. Oh, wait. Wylson, this is like one of your favorite topics that you brought up in the group chat.
Okay.
Are you going to bring it up?
Oh,
bring it up.
Okay. So
he's like, oh, okay.
So apparently a big leak that I'm not sure if it just happened today or when, mm-hmm. but apparently some of the classic album Astroworld, some pieces of that classic masterpiece were actually written by grassroots alum, rooted Cyhi the Prynce.
Yes.
And there's two leaked tracks, little clips of Sickle Mode, where he actually wrote some of the beginning lines. Maybe more, we don't know. I'm hoping that more comes out. He also wrote some of Coffee Bean, which is actually it's a pretty intimate track, or at least I thought it was.
I thought it was, but now I'm confused by that.
Yeah,
like, I get Sickle Mode. Coffee Bean, it confuses me.
Now, does this change anything in y'all minds? How you look at Travis as an artist?
For me, no, because honestly, I don't look at Travis as an artist that is supposed to have writer's integrity, and I mean that respectfully, because he's an artist. Like, he's one of those people that is an artist. Like, he likes the show, he likes to jump in the crowds. He's a performer. You know what I'm saying? So for you, there's a difference from when this happened to Drake. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Because again, Drake is the person that is on, or that goes on the tyrant of, hey, I'm lyrical miracle man. No one can see me. I'll take on any challengers. Mm-hmm. I write for everyone, and so on and so forth. And still, let me be clear, even with Drake, while it takes, I think we've talked about this, but while he goes down a notch for me, just from an artist perspective, as far as writing and competitive goes, just because it's just what it is, how you hold artists to standards. That doesn't take anything away from Drake. Drake still goes and writes for artists. Drake still has hit records that we know that he's written. You know what I mean? So yeah, it doesn't take anything away from me, either one of them. But for Travis in particular, I'm never surprised when an artist of Travis's magnitude has stuff like this come out. Just because, again, people like him, and at least from what it seems like, he's vested into the music. He's vested into creating something that is special for his core fan, whatever that looks like. So yeah, no, I'm not tripping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, when it comes to Travis Scott too, I think even for his career, right? He's not. For his career, it was never about like his lyrics. He was more so viewed as for his production work, right? When he first started out, it's for his production work. Mm-hmm. Then, eventually it's kind of morphed into not only his production work, but a whole experience, the same way that we see the likes of like Kanye, right? Kanye, it's very much more so focused on the production work and the experience that you get from the live performances via his projects. So that's why like seeing like that, and then also seeing like the fact that there's like 30 writers on that song or something that contributed, like that doesn't, it doesn't bother me when it's someone like Travis Scott, who I already knew, like, he's not known for his penmanship, right? It's not like, for example, if like I don't know, if Cyhi the Prynce had 30 writers, right? That is that would be a whole other thing. That'd be like, whoa.
That changes everything. Cyhi, I respect Cyhi's pen. Even y'all know, even when he wasn't on the show, Cyhi for me is up there lyrically. Right, I just feel like he never gets over the hump, and again, that's why I love our show too, because we were able to have that transparent conversation. Like, fam, you slipping. Like, you could be better than this. I love that moment. It's one of my favorite moments with us, right? But to your point, E, no, if that comes out about a Cyhi, about a Royce the 5'9", about Joe, it could be any of the elitists, right? Like even it could even be what's this dude now? Benny the Butcher.
Yeah.
Like if I love Benny the Butcher, and if I and I connect with his music just because I feel like it's authentic, like he's being his true self. You know what I mean? Moment I then find out that all of these stories, these crazy, situations that you hear artists talk about, that you believe that they are authentic, and you find that it's unauthentic, it changes everything for me, right? It changes everything. It's just what it is.
Yeah, because for those artists that you mentioned, if it happened to them, it would make them a sham. Because literally on their records, they boast about their pen game and everything. In terms of Travis, I just feel like this really just shows the evolution of hip hop. And I'm almost to a point where we need to stop referring to it as ghostwriting and more so call it a collaborative effort.
I agree with that.
Because for artists at that point in the game, that stage in the game, it's really high stakes. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if Hove had things going on like this. Maybe not as much, not as extensive, but you know what I'm saying?
Let me be clear. And you're artists. We all know artists, right? And if you've ever been in a studio with an artist, there's it's going to go one of two ways or three ways. One is going to be mad substance abusing properties in the studio, right? Then there could be women, and then there's a select group of people that normally focus on the business, right? After focusing on the business, a lot of times they're all just trying to create records. So naturally, when you're in a creative environment like a studio or just anything, any kind of creative space, naturally those juices flow, right? Like you feed off of people. So yeah, there's plenty of times I'm sure that Ty or Beyonce or someone was like, "Hey, yo, fam, you should relay that record, or you should change this," or like that's what happens. So I think in any event, the collaborative aspect in music, that happens regardless. That you can't remove that component. You can't know, even your top elitist, I'm sure, bounces a record off of someone's ears and then gets a pulse check from it. Whether they make alterations to that music and or their cadence and delivery, that's something different. But a lot of times it does happen. A lot of times it's, hey, you should use this. I wouldn't even be mad at Hove if that happened. Now, if that happens on like Prey or one of these more bigger records that are very intimate, and then I find out that Hove didn't write this record at all, like, can you imagine if Hove didn't write Marcy Me, or if he didn't write Moment of Clarity, or like there's some, you know what I mean? Like
New York would mourn.
New York would be on fire, man.
New York would never be the same. New York would never be the same. Can you imagine if we found out 10 years from now that Juicy or Hypnotized Biggie never wrote? Like, can you imagine if we found out that Mace wrote those records? How would you feel? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many variables to certain artists and their crafts, where it's one of those things where certain artists, I feel like, get a pass for it just because you don't look for them for that, right? Like, I think if would you be shocked if it came out that Uzi didn't write his records or Lil Yachty didn't write his records? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't look for those artists like that. And I think Travis, fortunately for him, he fits into that box. And I feel like that's a great problem to have, when you can have that freedom to kind of go and play around a little bit. You can dip in two different avenues. You can get writers, or you cannot, or you could do it yourself. At least you're not confined.
You guys think Drake is going to see the leak on Sicko Mode and be like, "Oh, not again"?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what? And then it kind of goes back to like, how do we, especially in the time and era that we're in, like the music industry has changed, you know, and I know there's this constant conversation and argument over like lyricism and not, right? But where do we draw the line in terms of that collaboration where, because like you brought up some artists where it's like, okay, even if they had those lyrical collaborations that we can expect, like we're not going to react as much. So where do you draw the line for like an artist that's kind of, I would say, like a Cardi B or someone within that lane specifically?
Now, Cardi B did take some flack for that.
She did take some flack, but the difference is what I liked about Cardi was the fact that she was like, "Oh yeah, I got writers. Like I don't. So what? No one hid anything. She's no one's hiding anything. But I also write my record. I write records too.
I think E just brought up a good point though. Maybe like an artist like that teeters that line is Cardi B.
She does. I can name you artists that teeter the line. That's easy to do. Some of them I can't name, but some of them I can name. Like,
who are the ones that you can name?
Cardi is one. Meg the Stallion.
I don't think I don't think Nicki Minaj would get forgiven for it.
I don't think so.
Like, if she had people write for her? Are you saying like within that context?
I think Nicki would take consequences.
Let me be clear. If it ever comes out, especially over the simple fact that this is one of the things that she's had to battle her damn near her entire career. Think about Nicki's ascension and where she came from and how she started in this business. And because Nicki was so nice, right? Like lyrically, nice. Well, yeah, it's nice. Let me say that. Yeah, it's nice.
Don't disrespect the queen.
No, never. Is nice. I think that yeah, sure. If a record comes out, like even let's say I can't think of name another record, but let's say Chung Lee or something like that, right? Or Monster. Can you imagine Monster? That verse from Nicki is one of my favorite verses ever from her. Yeah. Like that verse is something different. Can you imagine if she did not write that? And then again, got praise from all of these people, the T.I.s of the world, Kanye's of the world. All these people was like, yo, she's the one. And then it comes out that she did not write that record. I think the people kill her. And then I think the people kill her specifically because of all of the things that have happened with
now.
Real quick. Can we officially crown Nicki though? Nicki, there's no other female artist that could do a verses with Nicki.
Another female artist, hip hop artist, or artist like.
Wait, but what's the verses about though? Is it like about lyrics? Is it what is it about? Penmanship, production?
You bring your best 20 versus my best 20.
Yeah, your best 20 versus my best 20. Let's see who wins.
I don't think any, and I'll just stick to females, could see Nicki, and Nicki could also bash a bunch of dudes.
Well, let me be clear. I think it would be fairer to put Nicki up against dudes versus guys. And that's just keeping it a buck. Like,
I don't know why they don't do that.
Because you don't want to kill anyone's ego.
Man, who cares? It's about competition. It's about competition.
Yeah, but again, you know how it gets with artists. Like, again, artists are sensitive. Artists feel the way. Like, it's one of those things. You in a studio getting killed by a female. You're supposed to be this hip hop hardcore artist, whatever artist they would pair her against. That's an ego blow. Not art, and again, you got to think about it. Most artists don't come from humble beginnings, so we don't know how they would take that. You know, things go left with when people are sensitive and insecure. So it's one of those things where I wouldn't put her up against another female artist. I don't know of any artists right now.
Now I'm thinking about Lil' Kim.
Well, Lil' Kim.
Remember, it's the whole catalog.
Kim could compete. 100% Kim could compete. 100% Kim could compete.
Okay.
100%. I don't know that she'd win. And that's me being respectful, though.
Well, with Lil' Kim competing against Nicki?
Yeah.
Well, but then also there may be people bringing up the fact that Biggie helped to contribute with Lil' Kim, some of Lil' Kim's verses as well.
But that's fine. That's fine. But the same thing could be said with Nicki with Safari.
Okay.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's a good match.
Okay.
Both allegations, both extremely raw and uncut and get busy. And from what we know, they both write their records, right? Both have a plethora of records to pick from in a 20-song battle. And then past that, again, I got to look at the distance. I don't know that Kim can hang.
Yo, with the success of WAP, do you think we might get a remix with Nicki Minaj? She did big up the song.
She bigged up the song, but she bigged up the song, at least in my opinion, she bigged up the song for I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Meg. I don't think she bigged up that song for Cardi.
Still,
I don't think so. I think it was big of her regardless. But that's what I was about to say. I think it was big of her regardless. When I saw that, I was like, all right. That's what it's about, man.
I think
Fuck all that stupid shit.
I think Cardi and Nicki might put they drama aside for that.
I would love that. I would love that.
We need to. I think honestly, I think that
once the record starts dying down.
Oh no! Yo, listen. If they really want to up that remix, if you get Nicki and you get Lil' Kim on it, this shit's good. It's just gonna blow up. Like hands down, it's gonna pop off.
Hold on, but do you add Foxy Brown to
that? Yeah. I say if you really wanted to be about the unity, you'd have to have Foxy Brown because we can't forget Foxy was it too. We can't forget Foxy.
No, Foxy 100% deserves to be on there.
Yeah,
without a question. But I'm thinking because all the first 4 women that we named are all over sexualized in their image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they play into that too,
Foxy,
though. Now, mind you,
Foxy though.
Oh yes, you better. Are you crazy?
I mean, her joint was sexual, but was it overly sexually? Overly sexual,
Foxy was sexualized still the same way that even though Aaliyah was presented innocent, she was sexualized too. It's a different level of how they are sexualized, which is weird to say, but that's how the industry does it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen Foxy in a thong.
Oh, you haven't? No, you haven't seen Foxy with her legs spread open. Like you gotta watch. Go back to.
Well, no. She one of her covers was like that.
But that's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. How over sexualized was she?
She was.
She was sexualized.
Listen, let me be clear.
Look at this. If you remember right here,
if you remember correctly, the whole beef kind of started with Kim and Foxy just because they were 2 competing artists in the same market with the same type of genre of music, and they're both cooking. Both are gritty street women that have sex appeal, that are respected by men and that are in the industry.
Okay.
So between them 2 coming up and during that era, they both were giving it up crazy, and it was dope though. I just think the difference now is times have changed, right? Like we're in a little bit more sensitive times. I think people don't want to they'll support certain things, but it's risque at this point to kind of be that.
Okay.
The only person that's successfully pulling it off right now is Meg, comfortably. Even with the backlash of this record and people taking to it, people not taking to it. And again, like I said, I'm 50-50. It serves a purpose and it doesn't. She still will float comfortably just because Meg's brand has been very much about twerking, supporting women, shitting on dudes, and being positive within her space. So she'll be fine with that. Like she can forever do this as long as she stays authentic.
Yeah, and another thing too with to keep in mind, especially when it comes to Lil' Kim, was just Lil' Kim was more colorful, right? It was just more. I don't know if eccentric is the best way to do it, but it was just more off,
but this is what I'm talking about. That picture is perfect. That picture's perfect.
Oh yeah, the Foxy one. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's what I'm saying. Like she was. She was in it. Like Foxy was in it.
Okay. So, I mean, for the record, I want Foxy on the record.
You should.
I want her on the record based on skills, but if we're going image-wise, the other 4 went with that colorful. Actually, kind of, we got to give respect to Lil' Kim, because I could say Cardi, Nicki, and Meg are all. I'm not saying they're not copying her, but they were clearly influenced by.
Absolutely. Come on.
Yeah.
But
a lot of artists were.
Yeah.
I don't think Foxy was though. Foxy had her own thing going on.
She did, but
all right.
During that time, there was a lot of similarities. Like a lot of similarities, man.
But is that her being influenced by Kim, or is this more so by the industry at that time and the standards of the industry at that time?
Good question. Let me think about this. That's a very good question. Industry at the time, or is it Kim?
Now
it could kind of be consumers. I think we push that narrative as well as consumers. Like that bidding war, because you have Kim against Scorching Hot. Foxy comes out of Clear Blue Sky and she's scorching hot, and they're both fire. And so naturally, to Eve's point, you want them to kind of compete, just because for us as fans, it makes for the best music. You know what I mean? So I think that. Oh man, I want to think about that. That's such a good question.
Because it's funny, if you think about the music industry, right? Sometimes there's the line that straddles between the influence of an artist and just the influence of the time and the industry. There's certain components that we can say, like now Little Kim having the colorful hair, like, you know, she's not the first artist to do that, right? But
first black artist, black hip hop artist.
She is
maybe
for what?
Well,
the colorful hair. The extreme sexual nature of her promotion.
Well, I was gonna say the brat with colorful hair, but no,
the brat can't get that because everybody's shocked when they find out the brat was thick. Nobody even knew.
Well, no, everyone knew that. It's just that when you get hit, it's kind of like Erykah Badu. Like when you have that random thing where she was walking in window seat naked, and you're like, oh shit, wait, under these garments, this is what lies beneath. Like. It's one of those things where I think the brat has always been attractive, right? She just has.
Yeah, she's always been pretty.
Also, people aren't gonna really, bring that up with her too, because remember, the brat is legacy as well. Like it's weird how certain conversations that we have in terms of what people say, they like to pick and choose, but like the brat is like true legacy when it comes to women in hip hop. So it's just kind of like one of those things where it's just like, you don't want to like, she never hypersexualized herself. But two, she's just like one of those artists that you just like, you can't like you can't say anything bad. Like
you can't say anything bad about
she's
her.
legacy. Like, you just gotta let it, just leave it. You know what I'm saying?
She's cemented. I agree. She's cemented. If Brat never puts out another record, if you never hear anything else, Brat will forever have my respect. She's one of those artists, man. Like same thing with Bow Wow too. As much as we clown Bow Wow, like Bow Wow has hit records. Bow Wow is more successful than most artists presently. When you really think about his run. Between music, between acting, between hosting, between then acting some more. Like you could say the man is corny, but he got to be doing something, right?
But that also goes back to like if you had a run, right, or if you had hits, that goes back to like you sometimes like you can't keep doing the most because it can tarnish the accomplishments that you have in the eye of the public, right?
Yeah.
Because like even for example, like I don't think Soulja Boy gets enough credit as well. Soulja Boy's another artist who, and I'm not even saying specifically in terms of hits, but just like and how he's contributed to the change in terms of the rollout when it comes to music. Because look, back then he was doing something that the industry wasn't thinking of. And he took it to another level. The same way that we're seeing artists right now utilize different platforms like YBN Team, how they utilize Xbox Live to build their influence and following. Like non-traditional ways, he was doing it in a way that no one, and even like how he's even done content and built himself even within gaming. Now, of course, some of the stuff he did, but there are certain artists that I feel like with certain actions, maybe if certain actions that they did, people would view what their accomplishments a little bit differently, or maybe it's just them as a whole that people just don't want to view those accomplishments as well. It's kind of like a twofold situation, I think.
I
agree. I think, see, even if we even want to talk about him, right? My thing is that with Soulja, I think Soulja gets a lot of respect. and I think he changed music. Like there's a few artists that changed music forever. T-Pain, what's the dude? I can't think of his name right now, but this is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot.
Mims?
Mims. Listen, yo, I know you're looking at me crazy.
I'm looking at you real crazy right now.
I know you are. Mims, let me put y'all on game. Mims, that one record had so many samples in that record that it brought people aware to sampling more so than anything else, just because while that record was on Billboard and while it did numbers, it was often thought like, all right, fam, he used like every sample in the music industry and flipped it. And now what? Like, because you think about royalties, you think about all these things, like people changed the way that you had access to samples at that point. It also, and the reason why I say that more importantly is because he then changes ringtones. He changes ringtones at that point. The moment that record does what it goes where it goes, same thing with Soulja. Like they ushered in that wave when ringtones were big and labels started negotiating deals with artists, including having access to ringtone money. So, I mean, Mims changes the game. I know we don't hear about him anymore and everything, but that one record changes the game for ringtone and revenue generating stuff.
Now, speaking of changing the game, Brandon, can we get into that beard real quick? Can we get into this game-changing beard that you just hit us out of nowhere with?
I know, it's uncut gems too.
Okay,
I'm
gonna sit. I want to hear this.
How long have we been doing Grassroots?
For 3 years almost.
3 years, something.
This is the first time Brandon came with a different beard. My man decided to hit us with the Homer Simpson joint. Let's get it.
All right, you're done. Let's hear it. Let's go. Go. I'm waiting. Let's go. Get it out.
I know, I already did. I said uncut gems too. P90X, definitely. P90X.
Come on. I'm embracing all of this.
The Sons of Anarchy special joint.
Okay, good. Go. Okay, go. I'm feeling you.
Where's Nas, man?
Come on, where's Nas?
Nas would have brought back some old school reference for sure.
Yeah. He would have said Isaac Hayes or something stupid that didn't have no reference.
Yo, facts, yo. No, it looks good though. It looks good.
Thank you, man. If I'm being honest, I haven't worn a goatee in mad long. It was an accident. It was a shaving accident that went terribly wrong.
Now, what do we have to do to get you to grow the Rick Ross joint? Because you can. You got the genetics.
I don't think I would.
What do we have to do?
I don't think I would, man. I don't think I would.
Too many ladies? You don't want that many ladies on you?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know what you're talking about. What I'm talking about is the irritation that comes with having a beard. Men with beards that grow a full beard very quickly know exactly what I'm talking about with maintaining a beard. It's tedious. I'm cool.
Yo, is there any way that we can get you to be Ghost for Halloween? Grow the beard in just a little bit. If we chip in and we all get you like the man weave joint with the sick fade, would you do it?
Listen, Brandon, it's okay. We all have those references. Someone, I just said you guys.
I like the beard though.
Someone said that I look like the female version of this YouTuber named James Charles.
Wait, what? Let me see.
Click the link.
All right, I'm clicking now.
Oh my gosh. But it's weird though.
Oh shit.
No.
Yo.
That's crazy.
On the low, the silver hair one.
A little bit. It's the hairdo. It's the hair.
Yeah, it's the hair.
What if it's not that I look like James Charles? What if James Charles looks like me?
I was about to say, what if James Charles looks like you?
Bars.
Unless she's older. But
it's a guy. A guy's gonna have a short. Well, okay. Let me not say that to generalize, but for the most part, guys are gonna always have short hair. I just happen to have short hair. But it's funny. I also thought it was interesting that I got compared to a white guy. I thought that was really interesting in itself.
But I think just because of the shape of your face and the haircut, like if you put a side by side, I get it. Like just the what's the word I'm looking at? the aesthetics of your face. That's what I'm looking at. The aesthetics of your face.
It's the hair.
Lineup.
It's the hair. Yeah, that's all it is. I don't think it'd be a color thing.
A different hairdo.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's a color thing.
No, I know.
You know how, like, usually when people compare, like, we usually compare with other black people or people of color.
Oh,
this is the first time I've ever been compared to a white person. I was like, oh, that's different.
Nah, one of my boys has sent me a picture, some woman, and they were like, yo, tell me this chick don't look like E's evil twin, yo. I don't know the name of the woman, though. I'll send it to y'all later.
Yeah, send it later.
But you know what? Comparison? You want to talk about comparison? That Drake music video. Jake was going OD hard to look like an athlete. Yeah. But my guy.
Listen.
But my God, we love you, but I think you may need to stick with the artist stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Drake is an athlete.
He hit you with the Heisman, though, catching the football.
Yeah, we got to show Drake some respect as far as being an athlete goes. First off, he's clearly working on his ball game. Clearly. He also built a dope gym inside of his No,
that gym is
inside of his
fire.
crib.
Yeah.
That gym is fire.
I still think J. Cole got him, though.
Yeah, no, listen.
Got him on what?
Basketball, man.
On basketball.
Yeah.
J. Cole's like right. J. Cole, 2 Chainz used the ball, too.
2 Chainz.
Who else? Davies, I heard, is pretty nice.
On the low, Joel Ortiz could ball.
Ooh.
Well,
Joel could ball.
You guys don't think that Drake is training for a celebrity basketball game? Drake's going to get in one.
Has he already been in one, though?
And when Drake gets in one, the viewership is going to be crazy.
I think he might have been in one.
Nah. No? You've seen him shoot at before the Duke game started.
Oh yeah, doing the warm ups
with the infamous air balls. Then he said, "Oh yeah, everybody thinks this is funny. I'm building a gym in my crib.
Yeah, I'm building a gym. I'll never miss an air ball.
And I'm doing this all the time. And I'm gonna give you guys mad videos. Of
Word. Shooting the basketball, editing it, going in all the time.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna need to see a 3v3 though. I'm gonna need to see a 3v3 with some of the top hip hop basketball players, because this is also an ongoing conversation. Because I know people bring Quavo into it.
Chris Brown, Quavo. Yeah,
people bring them into.
Yeah. Chris Brown, Quavo. They could ball.
Yeah. But out of all of them, Drake's the only one sponsored by Nike. He's the athlete.
I mean, but J. Cole has Puma. What is that? I mean, what does that mean, man?
Puma, Nike. I mess with Puma, but we're talking Nike.
Puma is rebranding really good now.
Puma's fire. Puma is fire.
Puma is rebranding the shit out of that brand. I like what they're doing.
And let's not also take away the fact that Master P talked about J. Cole and potentially his move into the NBA or playing. And even Master P gave him some kudos and just said that it's going to be hard. But, Master P is the one guy who went from artist and made it into the league. So,
that's the other thing too. And Pika Hoop. So, I mean, I'm not putting Drake on the Mount Rushmore of ball players, hip hop artists right now. I'm not doing that. I'm not.
He's not the worst.
He's not the worst.
I don't think he's top 3 though.
Tory Lanez is really bad.
Ooh.
I'm just being honest.
Everyone can't ball, They ball in music. You can't ball in sports. We all got our specialty, you know what I'm saying?
It's just funny to see artists like Tory or a 50 throwing baseballs, or you know what I'm saying? It's hilarious to me that they're so something is as easy as throwing a baseball down to a pitcher is so difficult for artists or just people. I just find it interesting to me at times. Super funny to me.
That's all right. I mean, most people can't even kick a soccer ball, so
that's true.
How do y'all feel about the new Drake record?
It's cool.
like the music video, or or both, or specifically the single. Or what reference are we?
Specifically the song, because the video's fire.
The video's fire. The video's okay. Fire. The song's okay. It's just okay. It didn't. I don't know, and I'll save how I feel.
That song, man.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I didn't say that. I said I like it. I said it's a good record. It's not. It's just not. When Drake does these cryptic posts where he's alluding towards releasing something major or whatever, I just didn't feel like this record matched up to that momentum that we normally would get from a Drake when releasing or starting to go on this push of promoting. It doesn't have that same oomph right now.
I think that this is the warm-up single.
It is. It is.
I think it's the warm-up single.
But think about all of Drake's warm-up singles. Think about it. They've all been very, very strong records. I don't know, and I think
this is a strong record, though.
I don't know.
I think it's very strong.
I got to see how it performs.
Because you could say the record's cool. Oh, it's not the strongest, but name some flaws with it. What's wrong with the record?
It's safe. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just feel like it's a safe record from Drake.
I don't know. They got a 6ix9ine diss in there. I don't know how safe it could be.
But that's safe. That's safe. That's safe. That's safe. Oh man! And shout out to Danny Lay checking 6ix9ine. Love Danny Lay, man. Love that. I love that.
Quick question. Oh yeah, shout out to Danny. Quick question. So there's an article that a friend of mine, David Dennis, wrote actually about Drake, which actually applies to this conversation. Essentially, the piece was outgrowing Drake is a generation gap we didn't predict. I was 22 when So Far Gone changed music. Now I'm 34 and my life feels different, but Drake hasn't changed at all. Essentially, what he is saying, oh my gosh, I just lost the point. But basically, he was saying that like back then, the lyrics that Drake put out, like you felt it and it meant something. But now he was saying a decade later, he can't find a single Drake lyric that he can relate to. He says, when I listen to Drake and I hear someone who's still speaking to 22-year-olds and my connection to it is fleeting at best. That's a surprise in that and sadness and maybe some guilt. But there are questions too. Why have I moved on? Why hasn't he? Is it even fair to ask an artist to move with the age group that they're associated with?
Okay.
No. I totally disagree.
Let me get into your boy real quick.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right. So E, please mark down that edit point. so we can get that up out of here. But first off, your boy saying that Drake hasn't changed as an artist is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
That's a crazy.
Because so far he's already talking about his family life, his kid, his wifey, and all that. On top of that, right now, Drake is the undisputed king of hip hop.
I agree.
Period.
I agree with you right now.
He's the newest version of what Hove was. You know what I'm saying? Because Hove now has taken on
Hove is woke Hove, and Hove can still get busy, but we don't even include him in this new thing.
Exactly. Drake is the front runner when it comes to actually having lyrical integrity mixed with commercial antidotes to his music.
Okay.
So Drake's the king of hip hop. I disagree with your man's editorial, but I do appreciate his enthusiasm and also him lighting a fire in me just now.
Well, no, what I will agree with him with, though, with the decade piece, though, is that oh
my God. Right. I'm sorry. Your man phrased it in a decade?
Yeah.
Nobody's ruled harder than Drake in a decade. Just as a pure rapper?
Well, no, he's not talking about ruling, though, but you're right with there. But what he's saying is accurate in terms of who Drake targets to. He's right. His audience is very drawn towards it doesn't cater towards us really when you think about it. It caters to the turn up. It caters to now. Thinking about it now. Think about it. Right now, like even the recent record that just came out, it's catering towards the
Slide too.
Yeah, hell yeah. He's catering. He's I wouldn't even say catering. He's pandering towards. He's pandering towards.
Hold on. First off, I'm going on 35 next week.
Hey.
And I have definitely Tootsie Slide. Okay.
You Tootsie sliding?
I've slid the Tootsie everywhere.
In that dark cave you're in?
In the darkness. I'm about to hit you with the Batman line. I was born in
it's too late. It's
really adapted to it.
I was born in it.
Yeah. There we go.
I do great impressions. I'm here all week.
Oh my gosh, but I have to agree. I kind of agree with my friend, not in a sense of just like the influence and the overall growth that Drake had. It may not be in the growth that he's viewing at. But we also can't sit here and say that, like, you know, Drake, like Brandon say, Drake, I don't know, pandering, but Drake does pay attention to certain trends and pushes for those trends really quickly.
You could say that. You and I both know Drake panders. He pandered the shit out of that TikTok record. And I'm calling it a TikTok record because it's a TikTok record.
Yeah,
like, he pandered. Right. It's clear, let's just keep it a buck.
First off, that record was amazing. And he also created a blueprint for all artists.
Okay.
Basically, do your videos in your crib. It's quarantine time. He's a leader. He's a pioneer.
There are other artists that were doing it there were other artists that were doing.
Well, no artist as big as Drake.
Kaylani was doing projects in her own place, or music videos and stuff in her own place.
That's true.
There's quality?
Not of that quality, but it's of quality.
It's of quality. Did you check out her last music video?
Yeah.
First off, her album is fire. That
her album is ridiculous.
Don Julio making me, you know. I know her, but I'm waiting for her to come on the podcast, yo.
Oh my God, I would love for Killabh to come on. I have so many questions for her. So many questions.
Word.
So many questions. But it's a few fire albums out. Kehlani, Brandy, Benny's new project. Who else dropped? There's somebody else. I'm having a brain fart. There's somebody else that dropped. There's one other album that dropped. I'm not sure. Let me look. I'll look it up. I was trying to go off my memory, but I'll look it up.
I don't know.
I mean, there's been a lot of people dropping stuff here and there. I haven't been able to follow up with everyone, just because, sometimes people be dropping projects and like I don't even know because they don't really do promo, and I'm like, I didn't know this person dropped.
But that's what everyone's doing now. If you look at it, right, everyone is just dropping now at this point because promo it's not what it used to be just because of where we are in this COVID land. Like, it's hard to kind of gauge. So everyone is just throwing stuff out and just seeing what sticks. I think that's what artists have to do at this point too. It's the only thing we really have right now.
Well, also, this may bother some people, but I don't really care. I also think that this just shows how outdated the approach of the music industry is, because how is it that there are kids who know how to develop content to promo themselves, whether on TikTok, whether on Triller, whether on these things. But yet you can't figure out a unique way to promo a song when there are individuals who are creating unique content and promoting themselves and promoting their products, and even some promoting their music too. It's an excuse. The music industry's approach to the internet and stuff is so archaic, and part of it is because of the money making that they want. Now I get it, because the industry was hit really hard. They're really extra tight and strict right now. But also the people up the top really are not in tune with what anything is. Agreed. And they're always late, and that's why they're not making that necessary adjustments. And that's why we're seeing some people who are just doing the basic way of putting out marketing, is because they weren't paying attention to these trends, or they weren't trying to tap into them. The music industry is always the person who comes into a party when it's getting raided by a police, and they're like, "Oh, I'm here," and it's like the party's already done.
The party's already done. Yeah, that is a great analogy. They record label executives are normally late to the party all the time. Well, and that's the problem, and unfortunately, us as consumers and artists suffer because of that. We don't ever get to see our beloved artists reach a different level, or us have more exposure to a lot of the stuff that they deal with. The artists obviously get impacted for the obvious reasons of the fact that they're not getting exposure and or a lot of the opportunities that they should be garnished. And then at what sits at the top, unfortunately, is the labels where they either recoup or they're in the red, but they stay status quo. They don't change. And that's the problem. Every artist is damn near marketed the same, with the exceptions of those breakout artists like Cardi or a Meg. Everyone else gets treated like a number.
Well, two things to that, to promotion, artists promoting themselves and also like the record labels and everything. One, did you guys see Lil Boosie begging Mark Zuckerberg to give him back his gram?
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg. And on top of that, it also appears that Drake may be going independent. Because he posted something like the back of his CD case. I'm not sure what it was, but it said OVO Records.
OVO Records.
And nothing
OVO
else.
Records.
Listen, the industry is afraid of that.
Well, that's what who's been saying it. What has it been? Steve Stout? I think that's been saying if Drake goes independent, it's over for the record.
I don't know that though. And I'll tell you for a number of reasons why. And again, no shade towards Drake, OVO, love y'all. But the way that OVO artists are marketed right now, like there's a lot of rumors out there, right? There's a lot of things that people say with Party Next Door, with
The Weeknd,
with Majid Jordan, The Weeknd, where again, allegedly he brings these artists in to be collaborative with them, but also take their records. So I don't know that people are going to rush to go sign to OVO. I'm sure some artists will, of course, but I think Drake would first have to do a better job of marketing the artist under his umbrella in order to get a buy-in.
Does Drake really take your record? I
don't know.
Well, here goes my point. Is it really so bad if Drake takes your record if you're literally probably going to make more money off of him doing the song than you would if you did it yourself? Cyhi probably made a ridiculous amount of money off Sicko Mode.
It don't matter. It's not his worth.
And the Astro World album.
It doesn't matter. It's not his worth.
The writing credit, you get mad bread.
It doesn't matter. It's not his worth. If I get, let me be clear with you. I'll give you an example.
I'm saying in comparison to if he put out the record himself.
That's great. I'm here. Listen to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we know that the record wouldn't do what it's supposed to do if the ghostwriters put out these records. That's why ghostwriters exist. We're clear on that. What I'm saying is, let's say let's say you're Cyhi, I'm Travis Scott. I say, yo, I love your record. I'm going to give you $2 million for this record. Would that suffice for you, knowing what Sicko Mode does, where that record goes, and what that record garnishes from a monetary standpoint, where should maybe get like 40 million, and you wrote the record? Are you going to feel like
sit out, but no disrespect to Cyhi, but do you think that Cyhi would have made, if he just put out the record, just him, just Cyhi, Sicko Mode, only his record, it would have made 2 million? Do you see what I'm saying here? Like,
I get it, but again, it's a tough thing for.
Travis puts Drake on it.
Yeah.
Travis already has his own huge fan base. Like, 2 million is a lot.
It is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, small potatoes. When you're talking about royalties, when you're talking about, he
probably gets a percentage too, though.
Maybe. But even that percentage, I'm sure, is not what he should be worth writing a record of that magnitude.
Yeah. Also, it's about, our artists are very, for some of them, it's not just about making money. It's about the art and the craft that they have, and it being utilized the right way, and even how the industry is set up in terms of having a point system to prove your value and your worth, right? Like, even I think The Dream talked about it, how he had to get to a certain point before he could really negotiate the value of his penmanship to get what he deserved. Now, there are people like Party, there are people like The Dream who already probably have the point system of being a songwriter, right? So they can negotiate whatever value they want. But sometimes that may not always be the case, right? The same way that the value of an artist when it comes to a label may not always equate. And I think that, like, it's definitely one of those things where, I know people like Cyhi and Party Next Door probably see the value in terms of being a songwriter, but I think they view that more as like, oh, that's just my job, right? Yeah. While their music is their artistry, it's their passion.
It's their passion.
Yeah. So it's having that balance that, they probably have to deal with often.
Yeah. I agree. Do we want to touch on Biden and Harris real quick? How do you guys feel about it? I'll be honest, I'm 50-50. I'm happy it's a woman. Let me be clear. I'm so happy it's a woman. I'm happy it's a woman of color, even though all these crazy allegations. But I think that as much as she as people say that she's not the ideal candidate, and she may not be the ideal candidate. I don't think she is, but I think that she is the right person right now in the right time. Like she's one of the people I really feel that can compete with Trump in a running campaign. Like she's witty, she's sharp, she's smart, she's aggressive, she's abrasive. She also is very, very good at avoiding pitfalls in conversations, which is detrimental when going on campaign runs. So I'm not mad at it. And again, it's like I look at it from this perspective, like we have to pick from the worst of the worst at times. Like I feel like every election we've had to pick from the worst of the worst. This election is not going to be different. And if that's what we're the options, going off of a lot of the people, then that's what it is. I would have liked the other woman, honestly, the woman Keisha, can't think of her name. I'll look it up. Keisha something. I can't think of her name. I would have preferred her, but I'm not mad at Kamala Harris, and I think she's going to change things. It's a historic moment for me. Not the best, maybe, but I support it. Honestly, when I really, really sat and think about it and remove like my emotions from it, as far as like who we have to pick from, I'm not really all that mad at it. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like we were saying for Kamala, it's like at the end of the day, politicians are never going to be like 100% perfect. I mean, we have to keep that in mind, and it's always going to be that we have to vote for the lesser evil. It's always going to be that way because, and even with that, like just because, and it kind of goes back to like what Wylson was saying before about the transparency of Trump. That what we got during his candidacy run is what we got in the White House, right? But I think that it's going to be really interesting, especially when it comes to the conversations around COVID and the economy. There's already key points that we already know are going to be the main focus, especially when it comes to these debates and overall conversations between the two parties. But I think we can all collectively agree that the U.S. is just a massive like shithole right now, and like, and we're pretty much a joke, and so it's about cleaning up and getting out of this deep, deep hole that we've dug ourselves in, especially during a time where it's like, okay, it's like we have a pandemic, we have civil injustices and social injustices that are happening more, and it's just like. It's like one of those things where you feel like, can things get worse? And it's crazy that sometimes I'm sitting here and I'm like, it can. And it's just crazy.
It can, because again, if they start mandating this whole vaccine thing where you have to take a vaccine or you're going to face jail time. Did you guys see that?
Wait, what? Wait, add more to that.
I can see that being the case.
So for COVID, they're starting to have the conversation of vaccine, right? With that, they're talking about mandating it. Whether you were sick, whether you're not, you have to go and get vaccinated with this new vaccine, whatever, for COVID. And if you do not, you will be subject to a fine and or jail time, apparently. Now, it's not confirmed whether they're going with it, and it's not confirmed that they're actually going to go forward with it. But the fact that they're even having these conversations, it goes back to E's point. It's going to get much worse because I don't know about you guys. I've never taken a flu shot. I don't do any of that type of shit. I'm very cautious with putting shit like that in my body, just because I don't really know. Sure, they tell you what's in it and all these other things, but you don't really know. I just don't trust that kind of stuff.
So why is it that they're doing this for the vaccine, but they ain't doing no jail time for wearing masks or the parties that people are having or the concerts that people are OD too close to each other? It's weird that it's like, okay, you're having that be mandated for the vaccine itself, but yet there's no conversations around just the penalties and fines for people spreading it, to other people and knowingly doing it, in unsafe circumstances. So,
I agree.
Quite the double standards politics.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, to your point, with the masks and everything, I think that when it comes to the vaccine, people are going to view the vaccine the same way how they viewed people wearing masks. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but in the beginning when COVID had first started, you can go someplace like without a mask and people wouldn't, really react to it. But then all of a sudden, if you were out without a mask on, you were treated like, what do they call it in the Bible? A leopard?
A sheep.
No. The people
a lamb.
Disease. Nah, people with the disease.
That's gonna make.
That doesn't even matter. But you were treated like you were treated differently. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's gonna be the same way with the vaccine. If you don't get the vaccine, I think that people are gonna look at you like, okay,
a leopard.
You don't care. You don't a leopard.
Leopard.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said leopard, the animal. Well, I kind of got looked at like a leopard, personally.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, hey, how you put it? I think that people are going to view the vaccine the same way. Like, if you don't get the vaccine, people are going to look down on you. And
I think so, too.
And shame you.
And shame you. And shame you, though.
You're going to get it. You're going to get it.
Shame you.
You're going to get it because you know why? People want to go to the bars, man, comfortably. People want to go. I personally want to go to the gym. Yeah. I need gyms to open back up.
Yeah.
You're getting that vaccine, Brandon, one way or another.
Nope, I'm working out in the park and doing calisthenics and trooping it.
Or I'm snitching.
Oh my gosh, man!
You're going to jail, buddy.
Yeah,
you're getting that back.
Also, because I feel like someone's gonna be like, well, the masks aren't preventing it. Da, da, da. Okay, so for those people over there, yes, we know, right? But it's about ensuring that you're not spreading it to other people, right? It's about being considerate about other people's well-beings, right? It may not be 100%, but they have said it lowers the chances of you spreading it a lot more than if you don't have a mask. So for all those people who are the ones I want to say the butts, but that's it's still something that's going to help, right? Especially considering that, like, it's been crazy to see people like going buck wild at the beaches and at these Memorial Day parties and all this stuff. I'm just like, whoa. Like, I mean, granted, listen, there's certain things like going to the market, going outside, like that's fine. But like, first of all, if you get drunk, you make poor decisions. People have had too many one-night stands and done stupid shit while drunk. And you think that you're going to be responsible when you drink? You think that when you drink, you make and it's going to infect like 15 people? Yeah, I mean,
See, here goes the strange part to me and why, I don't want to throw on my tinfoil hat, but it's coming on. It's crazy to me that liquor stores were essential. Bars are open, okay? Bars are a social gathering, where spread could occur. On top of that, liquor lowers your immune system. But then the gyms are closed, which working out raises your immune system, makes it stronger. And it could also be considered a social gathering, but there's more people are more spaced out in the gym than they are at a bar.
Yeah. I see where you're going.
Or eating at a restaurant or anything. Why are gyms still closed?
Could be the financial. Also, I think, liquor is probably a financial gain for restaurants and stuff like that. So that's probably why they're adding that into that.
On top of the fact, you got to think about the NBA. They're not even drug testing. They know people are trying to, people are trying to gravitate towards something to make them feel better in a pandemic. Yeah. So, sure, essential. You would add mind-altering substances into essential, just the same way you would add in a therapist, you would add in a counselor or a sponsor, right? Like, I think it's just a natural thing, just given where we are. People are just trying to figure out what to do and how to cope.
Yeah, so but I also got to credit Joe Rogan with saying this. Basically, he said, have you noticed how they haven't, like, on the news or anything, said anything to people about strengthening like their immune system or taking preventative, measures. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, that can stop you from, maybe catching it or putting yourself in more harm if you do catch it.
I'm not surprised. They don't even look. Listen, they still, knowing the emotional turmoil that people are going through, people still can't even get access to therapists. Like, it's not a surprise. Like, how the system is set up, it is rigged for everything from the pharmaceutical industry to health insurance to all these different things. Like, we are a country that's based off of treating symptoms, not curing. It's always been like that, right? So it's like, why should they tell us these things when the pharmaceutical company is making money and these certain companies are making money off of us having these reoccurring sickness, right? The same way that people like to shun natural and herbal medicine and call it a fluke and it's crazy, but yet those are some of the things that can help people.
Yeah, definitely.
And actually has proven to help people with certain illnesses and stuff. I mean, that's just how our country is run, and more so our health system is run. And it's sad and it's unfortunate that the things that can help people, they write it off as, oh, that person's a cuckoo. And we've seen it multiple times where they've done it and said, oh, no, that person doesn't know what they're talking about. You got to, like the same way that like when people have anxiety, right? What's the first thing that some of them do? They give them a pill. You know, that not every person, now I want to say I'm not a doctor, right? But, you know, even with some of the people I've talked to, they found other ways to cope with their anxiety that they didn't need a pill for, right? But sometimes certain individuals and the health system is going to be like, take a pill. Like, have you noticed that anytime there's a problem, it's instantly take a pill. Take this, take this pill, take this medicine. Instead of saying, hey, take this herb, drink this tea. Like, it's never that. It's always like, oh, you got a little cough here, take this pill. Oh, you got this, you know, sip this syrup. Like, it's always
big business. It fuels big business. It keeps the government running, and us being suckers, we do it and take it when there's other alternatives. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but
they're pushers.
And they're pushing real good.
Yeah, I'm surprised Pusha T ain't find his way in that business.
I'm surprised too, honestly.
What business? Health business?
Yeah, but
pharmaceuticals,
pushing the pills, the drugs, man.
I'm surprised. No, I'm serious. I'm surprised.
You know, Pusha T's gonna have the vaccine for the low.
Wait, my Mac is about to die. Okay,
but by the way, that's the verses that I want to see.
What?
I want to see the battle. I want to see the battle of the drug talk. Whether it's Pusha T versus Jeezy, but I'd rather see Pusha T versus Westside Gunn, personally.
Pusha T versus Westside Gunn. No, oh yeah.
Battle of the drug talk.
Yeah.
For verses.
Yeah. For verses, that'd be fire.
That's what I want to see.
That'd be fire. Yeah. For the fans listening, watching, everyone, thank you guys for tuning. Let us know what you guys think as far as all topics goes. I'm really glad we talked about all this stuff. I feel like this was a really good conversation. And yeah, subscribe, hit the notification button, be notified for our latest and greatest episodes, as well as be sure to engage and join our Discord. And we will be back next week as per usual. Grassroots Podcast, Brandon Killabh.
Erin Ashley Simon.
I am Wylson.
We're out. We're out. I wanted to end on that note.
Don't end it. Make sure you did not cut that video.
No.
You got that? Good.
That's fine. Well, I recorded you in your debacle.